There's never been a Christian nation. You don't live in one now. We had godly people get on boats and come over here so they could worship. Godly people. We've had the greatest Bible preachers in the 15, 16, 1700s. Godly people. Some of the people that constructed this country, godly people. But it has never been a Christian nation and never will be. A Christian nation would never have killed and displaced 20 million Native Americans who are still left out and living in poverty. A Christian nation would never have thought that owning slaves was pleasing to God, or that it lined up with Scripture in any way, shape, or size. And we not only practiced it, but we were so obsessed with it that we went to war about it. We had a civil war. And in that civil war, 500,000 Americans died. That's more than Americans that died in World War II or any other war we've ever had. Our own civil war. We killed 500,000 of our own people so people could have the right to own other people as property.
Fair use, fair use. This is all fair use. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. This is a debate between a Christian. His name is Vocab, Malone. Now, this gentleman is constantly debating and going. He's trying to basically belittle what actually happened in America and around the world. And this is a debate between an Israelite, an actual Israelite, and also a Christian. What I've noticed when I talk to a lot of Christians, they really try to overlook things in the Bible that contradict their whole entire reality and the way they live their lives and the way they see life itself. And I noticed that they would rather believe in the contradiction that they've always believed in instead of finding out why there's a contradiction. Just like the Apocrypha. When I was studying Paul's writings, it is extremely easy to get confused by Paul's letters. When you read the Apocrypha, then what it does is it ties it in, because inside the Apocrypha in Maccabees, and it shows you how the Israelites lost their identity, and they were forced to lose their identity. So even, I got it right here, and it ties into that Galatians 3:23, but that's 2 Maccabees chapter 6, and it goes into how the Israelites that were in that Greek captivity were forced to become Gentiles. I had a Christian actually tell me that the Apocrypha was something that was added. She said, well, you're not supposed to take away or add to the word. However, the Apocrypha was what was taken away. And that's something that a lot of Christians just don't realize, that the Roman Catholics and that Christian go under that old Roman Catholic authority. Christians only read a certain amount of the Bible, but they don't understand that those were elder scriptures that were taken out to keep you in confusion. So this is a conversation between an Israelite and Vocab Malone, a Christian. And this is not letting go of what actually happened in the past and how it ties into the Bible. So I wanted to fair use and put this up, and yeah, here it goes.
You're telling black people today, who are the ancestors of the cotton pickers in America, that God didn't go out of his way to punish the people that did it and talk about what happened to them in his book. Then what would be the attraction of this book to those same people?
Oh, because this book is true.
Excuse me. But what I'm saying is, if you got an example of God rescuing a nation of slaves in one part of his book and ignoring your slavery, then how's that an attraction to a group of people that went through and suffered what they suffered? Meaning God doesn't change. So if he doesn't change, why wouldn't he give the same attention to the American slavery and give that same attention to the Exodus slavery?
Well, the Israelites, if you read the beginning of Genesis, of course, I know you know this, they felt like God was also ignoring their cries, for a long time in the Exodus. But of course,
that's not what I'm asking you.
No, but what I'm saying is that that's the way you can feel when you're oppressed, and that's why.
No, that's not what I'm asking you.
I know. I think what you're trying to say is because they are the people, and God would.
No, what I'm saying is, if you're telling me today, and again, we haven't gone through that part of it, and we probably.
Yeah, they cried out, and they're crying.
I know
for help
that verse,
because of their
sir. I
slavery
know the
rose up
whole
to God.
book.
God heard their. Well, I'm just reading the Bible.
But I already know this. It's my topic.
So,
I brought up Exodus.
Okay.
My question is, if you're selling this religion, for lack of a better word, and this gospel to the children of slaves, but yet you're telling them that God is not taking the same action on your slavery as he did on the slaves in Exodus, then that's partial. That's biased.
Yes, we don't like bias. That's why I don't like One West, brother.
Well, wait a minute. The first bias that happened before One West was the slavery of black people in America. So let's handle that first.
About this bias.
What?
Well, that's not the first bias. There's bias all the way
No,
back
meaning
in Exodus.
with the meaning you say that's why you don't like One West. Well, that's why we don't like American Christianity.
Well,
because you're biased.
Just like Frederick Douglass, the cradle robbing, slave whipping, wife stealing. I don't like that Christianity either.
Okay, but that's the roots. That's the roots that people from other countries are dying in rivers and walls to get to. Meaning, how is America so unhealthy for one group of people, but yet viewed as a big tit of milk for other people?
Simple. It's better than most other countries. America's got plenty of problems, but people die to get here because it's better than the rest of this crappy situation. I'm not saying it's perfect.
So it went out of its.
I think you know that, though.
So it's went out of its way to have a nurturing image for some people and an oppressive spirit and behavior on another group of people.
Yeah, I mean, anyone.
So hold on. So does that mean that it's personal?
Is it personal?
Yes. Meaning was this meeting America? Hold on. Let me reboot. America just needed laborers, correct? Hold on. Meaning the motive of American slavery was just labor, right?
Well, I mean,
was it just labor?
That's a big part of it. But then
wait.
The idea is to justify the wicked action by saying, well, these people aren't really people and all that kind of stuff.
No, I'm saying
you have that justification.
Meaning the choice of where to go get these laborers by Europe and America, meaning these people were on the other side of the world.
Well,
right?
the Arabs did the same thing, of course.
I know about that. But what I'm saying is they wound up here. So, and it took a long trip,
well,
right?
They tried the natives
first. Can I finish?
No,
I know that. I know what happened to them.
I understand what you're saying. You're saying they specifically went to get Israelites. I'm going to
No, I didn't use the word Israelites yet. I just said
that's where you're going, right?
No, not necessarily.
Well, of course you are.
No, I'm not. See, you're basing it based on other conversations, and I'm trying to tell you don't think
it was because they were Israelites specifically that Satan was inspiring.
I haven't introduced that topic yet.
But you believe that?
Okay, but since I'm not exactly them, me, at least allow me to explain where I'm going. I know based on your previous conversations that you predict that that's where I'm going, but I'm actually not.
If I'm wrong, tell me, and I'll say okay.
It's not a matter of if you're wrong. If you are a regular fair-minded person. At least let a man be heard.
But be honest about your beliefs.
Okay,
All I'm asking.
and I'm telling you that I wasn't exactly going where my brethren go.
understand, but it's your
What I'm
underlying
asking
operation.
is, no, I was gonna finish my question at the question, meaning if it was just about labor, then I've discussed this with my pastor friend here in Vegas, and the topic is why all the way across the world, when you've got people in Mexico, South America, you had the natives here already.
They're under the control
If it's
of Spain
just
down there,
wait a minute, but if
couldn't
it's
go get them.
but if it's just labor, why the other side of the world? Why?
Well, it's
not even
very hard.
financially valuable to spend the time, the energy. They lost a lot of them through sickness and death. If it was just about labor, why the other side of the world? That's my question.
It was the largest supply and the most readily
No, it wasn't.
available.
No, the most readily variable would be her people in Mexico. They're right down south.
Who was in charge of that place?
It don't matter. You didn't think they were rulers in Africa?
No, but they were selling them.
Excuse me.
The Spaniards
but
are not going to let go.
But again, so
of their
wait a
people
minute,
that
wait a
they
minute.
conquered.
I saw a movie called The Rundown with the Rock,
Okay.
and there was a white guy in character in the movie that had servants digging for gold, and they absolutely slaved, the Spaniards slaved Mexicans, Mayans,
Right.
and Yaqui,
Uh-huh.
right, on behalf of the gold that they were finding. Okay,
Yeah.
so yes, they were enslaved.
Different Europeans.
So then, hold on.
That's all I'm saying.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, if it's just labor, you said that it was the most convenient thing. No, it was
Readily
the
available.
least.
Readily
That's what
available
you
and the
said.
largest supply.
Okay, so then now you're answering for the mindset of those guys in the 17th century. Vocab, Malone.
They explain it.
Did you? They do.
Yeah, and
in
so
the
do-
Magna Carta,
so
they
do-
explain it.
Magna Carta is years before that. It has
What?
nothing to
No,
do
but
with
what
it.
I'm saying is they explained it where? In the Bible?
No, the economics of the
No.
situation.
Hold on a second.
That's
Remember, we're
that's
Bible students. Wait. We're Bible students. So did
17th century
So-
slavers aren't going to be recorded in the Bible, brother.
really? That's why I went
No,
to
but
Revelations
their
18.
economic rationale and their reasons aren't going to be recorded in Scripture. Is all I'm saying.
That's a far verbal trip that you are not
But I
privy
don't
to.
listen. We're not here to minimize slavery.
I'm not trying to minimize it. I'm saying that
when I say we, I mean we as
that if
Christians.
it's
we don't
just a
minimize
matter
it.
of convenient labor, just like you got jobs posted here in
I
Vegas.
didn't use the word
Hold on, you
convenient
got
per se.
jobs posted here in Vegas. Do you think that they want to go to the islands of Java to get someone to flip burgers when there's
Actually,
people right
you're
here in
proving
Vegas?
the point because that's exactly what Americans do with Indians. That exact thing.
That's today.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're
but-
literally proving the point.
No, but that's tech.
Indians have concern
No,
about
and
it.
they
They call
do
it
that.
brain
Listen,
drain.
every time I call my
Indians-
freaking bank card, I'm talking to somebody
I know,
in Bangladesh, but they're not sitting. Hold on,
No,
they
also
hold on.
bring them over
They
here.
weren't
They also
brought.
bring them over en
No,
masse.
they weren't
And even
brought.
Trump, who's
and
known to
they
be
do it. But do they have to chain them to do it, or do they come because they want the
incentivize-
American
they
pie?
They incentivize. them.
Okay, and so that would be an economic.
Exactly, and
so
it's
then,
all about
so
economics.
then, okay, so then
Same thing
that's
with
all.
Same
That's
thing with the TASC,
that's
brother.
no, that's not the same motive of chaining people and bringing them on the other side of the world. This is the reference that I have in God's book concerning that behavior.
Okay.
Cargo of, this is Revelations 18:12, cargo of gold, silver, precious stones, pearls, fine linen, purple and silk, scarlet, every kind of citron wood, every article of ivory, every article made from precious wood, bronze, iron, and marble, and cinnamon, and anise, and incense, perfume, frankincense, wine, olive oil, fine flour, wheat, cattle, sounds like that movie Trading Places, sheep, and cargo of horses and carriages,
Slaves.
and slaves
Souls
and
of men.
souls of men.
Correct.
So the slavery of this late kingdom in the Bible, it is, you said it wasn't written about, there it is. There it is.
That's not transatlantic slave trade.
Yes, it is. It ain't Egypt.
Okay. So,
That ain't Egypt. It ain't Babylon. It ain't
brother,
Babylon in Genesis. It ain't Assyria. It's this place.
okay.
You want to push back about it because you got a bone in your head about Ariyah, about One West. But what I'm telling you is that the greater point of this Bible is neither Ariel or One West, it's God himself. And to sit here and tell me that God is not treating the same slavery that happened in Exodus the way he treated it here, that's blasphemy. That's partial. And it's going to be judged. You're just like any other white boy, it sounds like, in America that doesn't want to face what Americans themselves call the original sin. If America calls slavery the original sin, well, then sin is in the book. And there it is.
For a fact that some of y'all watching this will say something like, why is this guy so angry? The reason why is because the Christian belief system does not touch on these facts, these things that has happened to a certain group of people. This whole slavery thing and what was done to God's chosen people is in our DNA, is in our bloods. We are angry at the fact of what was done to our people. So this is a whole message that has to come out. So again, it's good to look at all angles. And there's a preacher that I'm actually going to do a video on, but he was talking about that. He was a Christian preacher. And you know what? I do applaud a lot of the Christians that actually see it. And then there's going to be Christians that just won't see it. And honestly, let them, because there's going to be 2/3 of every tribe and nation that will not see it. I expect that. But then there's going to be a 1/3 that sees it, just like what's going on right now with Iran and the things boiling. A lot of people are they have a belief in this beast system that things will never change and things will stay the same and things will get better. But as we see time goes on, we see the dollar crashing. There are things that is happening around us. Things are changing. So this message is actually meant for those who will see, that can see the change, and others that can't. So be it. That's on them. But thanks for watching. We're going to keep these videos going. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Thank you for tuning in.